Thank you for tuning in to Beastwatch News Brief at the most current and comprehensive Bible prophecy website on the internet, BeastWatchNews.com. All Bible prophecy news, all the time. Stay tuned for news. In Israel, Kerry is focusing his plan on the Jordan Valley. The U.S. efforts to revive the Israeli-Palestinian negotiations continue to face obstacles, but this has not stopped a continuous trickle of information and leaks about some of the major details of the proposed talks. Chief Palestinian negotiator Saeb Erekat told the Voice of Palestine on Thursday that U.S. Secretary of State John Kerry plans to have 3 parallel tracks. According to Erekat, the Kerry plan has a political track, a security track, and an economic one. One high-level suggestion seems to be a U.S. focus on the idea of helping create a Palestinian town in the Jordan Valley, where the Palestinian population is kept at a minimum. As a matter of fact, one of the leading Arab newspapers is reporting on this as well, saying Kerry proposes a settlement to control the Jordan Valley under mutual Jordanian, Palestinian, Israeli supervision. And Kerry is asking the Palestinians for an extension to revive the peace talks. He has spoken with Abbas twice in 24 hours over the weekend. Abbas has told him that it is going to take freeing of more terrorists and a stopping of the settlement activities. And of course, Livni is mulling releasing terror murderers in order to comply with Abbas' request. She is expected to meet with John Kerry on her next trip to the United States. Erekat is accusing Israel of trying to get rid of Abbas once again. Germany may soon restrict Made in Israel labels. A document issued in response to German opposition members states products should be labeled Made in Israel only if they are manufactured within 1967 borders. Iran has cut Hamas funding over Syria. 2 former close allies have also ceased military cooperation, effectively ending a warm relationship that saw Tehran provide weapons, technical know-how, and military training to Hamas fighters. There has been a mass Palestinian grave found in Tel Aviv, according to the Jerusalem Post. An official at a Muslim cemetery in Jaffa said Friday that the remains of dozens of Arabs killed in the 1948 War of Independence were discovered in a mass grave there last Wednesday. Under the War and Peace heading, the U.S. is warning Russia against sending missiles to Syria. The Obama administration strongly warned Russia on Friday not to undermine peace efforts for Syria or upend the balance of power between Israel and its neighbors by supplying the Syrian regime with advanced anti-aircraft weaponry. And now it looks as if the Syrian peace talks will likely be postponed because of Russia's plans to go ahead and ship more weapons to Syria. And Russia has blocked the UN Security Council declaration on Syria's Qusayr war that's going on there, and Britain has decided to transfer weapons to Syrian rebels. Rockets have been launched from Syria and have hit Lebanon again. At least 2 rockets launched from Syria have hit the northeastern Lebanese town of Hermel in Bekaa Valley, according to Press TV. These Hezbollah strongholds have been attacked from within Syria. Several rebel fighters were killed in an overnight clash between Hezbollah and Syrian rebel forces in Lebanon's eastern border region with Syria, according to Lebanese security sources on Sunday. 2 top retired Israeli and American generals last week published an unofficial theoretical sequence of events that is likely to precede any strike against Iran's nuclear program, and a new Iranian missile launcher is said to be able to overwhelm Israeli defenses. More than 1,000 people have been killed in Iraq in violence in May. Nearly 2,000 people have been killed in the last 2 months as Al-Qaeda and Sunni Islamists have been invigorated in their revolt in Syria and by Sunni discontent at home. They are seeking to revive the kind of all-out intercommunal conflict that killed tens of thousands 5 years ago. Egypt's highest court ruled on Sunday that the nation's legislature and constitutional panel were illegally elected, dealing a serious blow to the legal basis of the Islamists' hold on power there. The ruling by the Supreme Constitutional Court says that the legislature's upper house, the only one currently sitting, would not be dissolved until the Parliament's lower chamber is elected later this year or early in 2014. The Constitutional Panel has already dissolved after completing the charter. The ruling deepens the political instability that has gripped this country since the overthrow of the authoritarian leader Hosni Mubarak 2 years ago. Russia plans to resume nuclear submarine patrols in the southern seas after a hiatus of more than 20 years following the breakup of the Soviet Union. This is according to a Tartas news agency in Russia, which is reported on Saturday. It is another example of efforts by Russia to revive Moscow's military. Under U.S. and world economy, a Hindenburg omen alert has been raised. The Dow fell 208 points last Friday, and this is one of the signs of the Hindenburg omen. It signals an increased probability of another stock market crash. While that was going on, it was said that the U.S. economy has had its best quarter since 2011. Obama claims the economy is on the mend. Obama will sign a UN firearms treaty that has been rejected by Senate. Some are raising the question that this is another case of treason committed by Obama against the United States. In this story, it says, due to the Senate's response to the treaty, Obama's signature will be symbolic at best. A U.S. judge has ordered Google to comply with FBI secret demands for customer data, despite an earlier ruling that the warrantless orders are unconstitutional. District Court Judge Susan Liston this week rejected the Internet search giant's argument that so-called national security letters violates constitutional rights. As such, it ordered Google to hand over private information relating to U.S. citizens to federal agents. And Yahoo is going to force users to upgrade to the company's newest platform, allowing Yahoo to scan and analyze every email you write or receive. According to Yahoo's help page, all users who make the transition agree to let the company perform content scanning and analyzing of your communications content to target ads, offer products, and perform abuse protections. This means any message that Yahoo's algorithms find disturbing could flag a user as a bully, a threat, or worse, and at the same time, Yahoo can now openly troll through your email for personal information that it can share or hold on to indefinitely. Motorola has announced it is looking at alternatives to traditional passwords in a bid to make logging onto online sites or accessing mobile phones more secure. Among the ideas discussed at the D11 conference in California last Wednesday were electronic tattoos and authentication pills that people swallow. There are 9 dead and over 70 injured in last weekend's new Oklahoma tornadoes. They were killed Friday evening in part of a storm system that caused widespread flooding in Oklahoma City and its suburbs, according to the chief medical examiner on Saturday. Oklahoma City's airport was evacuated during the tornado threat, and Colorado storm chaser Tim Samaras was killed in one of those twisters. A mother and her baby were killed, and the body of a 4-year-old boy was found in a river near Oklahoma after that tornado outbreak. Drought has given way to flooding along the Mississippi River, and California wildfires have exploded in size overnight. They are now 41 square miles, and there are new fire blazes going on in New Mexico. Quakes have killed 2 people in Taiwan and injured 33 in the Philippines. There was a 5.5 magnitude quake off the Solomon Islands. A 5 magnitude struck Egypt, 4.8 in Aqaba, and a 5.7 in several Mindanao areas. 12 new volcanoes have been discovered in southeast Alaska, and 25 known volcano vents and lava flows are being re-evaluated thanks to dogged work by geologists with the USGS. And in related news, it appears that the magnetic poles have moved 161 miles. And a Mayan volcano is exhibiting abnormal behavior, according to scientists. And this under biological warfare. There's a food poison alert going on. Organic frozen berries from Costco have been released into the public, and they are now causing hepatitis A outbreak. Frozen berries sold as Townsend Farms Organic Antioxidant Blend from a farm in Oregon has been linked to the outbreak that has mostly affected western states. The company said that it has traced the contamination to pomegranate seeds from Turkey that are used in the mix. Costco has removed the products and made the recall. It has spread to 5 states, and there are 30 cases of hepatitis A nationwide linked to the Townsend Farms Organic Antioxidant Blend frozen berries. Monsanto has given up the fight for its GM plants in Europe. The world's largest seed producer, Monsanto, has apparently given up on attempts to spread its genetically modified plant varieties in Europe. A German media report said the firm would end all lobbying for approval. But America is still facing its wheat export crisis as both Europe and Japan are rejecting the United States GMO crops. Frankensalmon are now found to be able to breed with trout and produce yet another species, Frankentrout. Livestock are going to be fed larvae who have been reared on cow and pig excrement in the EU. This is under a trial in order to meet rising meat demands. And the mortality rate from coronavirus has jumped to 60%. There are 4 more deaths confirmed in Saudi Arabia. And under the days of Noah, the Lutheran Assembly has elected its first openly gay bishop. Go to Beastwatch News, click on that link, and just look at the defiant smirk on that man's face. This is Beastwatch News Daily Update, beastwatchnews.com. Bible prophecy news every day except Shabbat.